Hello guys, and welcome to a long overdue video of Tank of Salt. And in this video I'm going to give you a general reef update. The video is going to be a little bit longer than normal due to the fact that I've got quite a few changes in my sump area and something quite exciting to show you all. So as you can see, the tank's looking very healthy. I got rid of a couple of fish that were in here because I wanted a yellow tang. Now I understand that this guy is going to get too big for the tank. But at the minute he's a nice size and he's doing great. Corals are doing fantastic. This guy here, not so good. I had 3 heads on there, and as you can see 2 of them died. This one seems to have bounced back and he's doing well. These corals here are something that came with the live rock. I didn't put these in and they just seem to be growing. They're doing a fantastic job. And this pulsing xenia here, wow, the amount that this has grown. I don't know if you can see, but look, just there, it's starting to come off and spread along the floor. Now what this does, I don't know if you all know, but this is a filter feeder. So as you can see, all the heads there waving about, they're filtering the water, and that's what it uses for food to grow. A very easy coral to take care of, very low maintenance. And as you can see, there's another one here. I took a little bit, and it's covered this rock and it's starting to grow up the rock behind it, so this stuff just spreads like wildfire. Okay, so down in the sump below, if you all remember last time, I had a algae reactor. I've now got rid of the algae reactor. It's a little bit dark under there. Okay, that's a little bit better. I've just grabbed my torch so we can see what's going on. So I've moved my skimmer over to this side because it was putting bubbles in my display tank. As you can see, it's still doing a good job. Really thick skim mate there. Filter sock at the back can be a little bit difficult to change now that I've moved this skimmer, but the result in the main tank's a lot better, so I think I'll keep it there. I've now replaced my algae reactor with, oh you can't see it, with a sand reactor, which is here. Needs a little bit of fine tuning, it hasn't been in there for very long, but the idea is as the sand moves about down here, which you can just make out, as it moves about it bangs together and the older bacteria falls off and makes way for the new bacteria. Now, as you can see, there's one pipe coming all the way down here. Some people might be asking, now what's that? Now this is the new exciting part I added onto this tank recently. So you can see there's a pump just down there that pumps up through the pipe that you can see there, comes out down below there and goes through a UV sterilizer. Now that tissue's just there just because I was testing to make sure nothing was leaking, which thankfully it's not. Goes through my UV sterilizer, through another pipe, and out here. And then what I've set up here is a refugium. Now the reactor wasn't working. I went on holiday, I came back, I found out it was leaked. It leaks all over my floor, all over the tank. The space I've got below the tank's not really big enough for a proper refugium, so I took an old tank I've got. As you can see, the lid on there at the minute is from another old tank that I just stuck on top. That's just got a daylight bulb running in there. It runs 24/7, the daylight bulb, and then I don't know if you guys know, but you can get the grow light LED strips. I'll switch it on for you if I can find the switch. So I bought a grow light LED. There you go. I bought a grow light LED switch, grow light LED strip, and I stuck it around the inside. So that comes on for 12 hours a day, the grow strip, and the daylight bulb is on all day, 24 hours a day. Inside here I've got some chaeto right at the back, a little piece there. Now when I originally put this in here, it just died straight away, died. But since playing with the lights and having them on 24 hours a day, it's starting to bounce back a bit. I've had quite a lot of growth over the last week in that. But then this stuff here, now this is called Callirpa, and a lot of people are very nervous when using caulerpa due to the fact that it spreads very, very quickly, very, very fast, as well as the fact that it can become asexual. Now what that means is your leaves or your branches of caulerpa will turn white and they'll die off, and it will release sort of a white sludge into the water. Now touch wood, I've never had that happen to me. That can happen due to not enough light, not enough nutrients in the water, but yeah, it makes a mess of your tank. It won't kill anything, you can do a water change and remove it and you'll be back to normal. So I thought it was worth giving it a go, seeing as that stuff back there wasn't growing, and this stuff is just absolutely taken off. This has probably doubled in size in 2 weeks. I've got a little heater at the back there just to keep the temperature nice in here. As you can see from the glass, it's covered in algae. I've not cleaned this in probably 3 weeks it's been set up. I've got some crushed coral and some crushed sand, crushed coral and crushed rock for the base. Then lots and lots of live rock here, as well as some new dry rock that I cured and put in there. The bags that you can see there, they are what was in my sump. One of them, they both contain carbon, but this one and this one has been in my sump for a very, very long time, so they're full of lots and lots of bacteria. So I'll put it in there just to help everything get started. We got one snail in there having the time of his life. He absolutely loves it in there. And so far, not many big bugs to talk about, but I don't know if you can make them out all over the glass. Sorry, the camera I'm using is not very good, but all over the glass you've got tiny, tiny copepods and amphipods, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of them in there. They're absolutely everywhere. And what these guys do is they eat all the uneaten food, any fish poo, anything they can get their hand on, detritus, they'll eat absolutely everything. So they're very, very good for your tank. They're also very good if you like to keep things like dragonettes. If you want to fish like that, they mainly feed on copepods and amphipods, so a refugium is very beneficial if you want them. For me, I'm just doing it because I thought it looked pretty cool having a display refugium next to the tank. I fancied giving it a go. I've seen a lot of good things about them. I didn't have the money to buy a new light, but the plan is the light off the top of this tank I'll eventually put onto this tank, and then I'll get myself a nice Kessel for this tank, just because I've never had one and I fancy playing with it. So the water comes into this tank and it goes through a bulkhead through a hole I cut in the back of the tank, back down the pipe and into my sump of my original tank. Now if anybody has never cut glass before and you're nervous about doing it, this was my first time doing it, and I promise you it's easy as anything. I've never known anything so easy. Make sure you get yourself a diamond drill bit, take your time, make sure there's water there, go very, very slowly, and it's absolutely easy, I promise you that. Now one thing I am thinking about doing is my two clownfish are a mated pair, so I'm thinking about maybe adding one more tank onto the side just to see if I can get them to breed in there, away from all the fish that eat their eggs. Another thing I'd like to do is put some of this in my sump tank once the light's on there, maybe make some money back from the hobby a little bit, sell some of that, but we'll see, no plans as far. I want to see how this gets on first, but yeah, it seems to be doing a fantastic job. I do have some problems with algae, as you can see. Now this side glass I don't clean, I've never cleaned that. I don't clean the sides or the back, I only clean the front and this one side here. But as you can see on the power head here, we've got some algae. I removed quite a lot of it, so I'm hoping it starts to die off, as well as on the overflow just there. Now for the overflow, what I did was I thought I'll cut the light off to it. So I placed, on top of the lid, I placed a letter, just to try and block some of the light getting into the getting onto the algae. Now this lid is just a cheap lid from any place you can buy them. It's a greenhouse cover, and I think I paid about £3 for a massive sheet of it, and I just cut it to size. I need to make one more for the sum. Yeah, so that's the reef update. If anybody has any questions, any advice, I appreciate it all. I'm always learning. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy reefing.